South African netball team beat Namibia 65-39 and retained their title at the Africa Netball Cup Championships in Windhoek yesterday. The team landed in the country today. South Africa are yet to lose a match at this tournament since 2019. They recorded wins over Uganda and Malawi. Captain of the side, Bongi Msomi, joins me now. Very good evening and welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Good evening and thank you so much for having me.
How important was this tournament and the performances that the national team were able to put out at the Africa Cup?
Oh, it was very important. I think obviously coming back from Ireland where we had like 3 weeks of non-stop training and competition, it was really obviously out of God from us to know that we have to take part again into, Africa Netball Cup, which is quite an exciting cup to play for. And that's what we always look forward to. So we had that chance and chats has been made. The team had to travel to Namibia, and I think it was probably the best tour that we've had with the newcomers coming in. We had 4 new caps, which is quite exciting for the Spa Proteas building up into next year, which is Commonwealth Games year. And also we have a big one in January where we're going to play the quad series against the top guns in netball, I would say, against Australia, New Zealand and England. So this was really nice build up. It's always nice to win at home in Africa and then go out with such confidence in, facing such big countries.
COVID has really rocked the team. You guys had a test series that was supposed to get underway in the Caribbean, which never took place.
Oh, most definitely. I think that was probably what we were looking forward to play Jamaica, because everyone knows in 2019 when we played them, we had a big one against them and we won, which gave us, a chance to go through to the semi-finals of World Cup in 2019. So we were looking forward to that. But again, I have to say credits to Netball South Africa and the team behind the scenes in ensuring that we at least have the island tour, to test where we are, and obviously for coaches to see different combinations, different players coming on board and getting a chance to play at such level. And then up to now until when, we obviously had a chance to play the Africa Netball Cup, which I think was probably one of the exciting Africa Netball Cup that we've ever had. So I have to say credits to at least having to compete. COVID-19 has been quite hectic, obviously, for not just for us, but for other sporting codes as well. But I have to say netball has been really amazing and, stepping up and finding ways of getting us still in touch with the ball. That's what everyone wants. And up to now, I really can't complain. I think this year has been really good for the Spa Proteas.
Bar for a very short period in the Proteas netball history, South Africa are expected to dominate on the continent. Have you seen an increase in the level of play of the other teams? We saw Uganda taking silver. They beat a traditional African powerhouse, often a good rival to South Africa from Africa in Malawi in order to get that silver medal. So are you starting to see the other African teams also stepping up their game? Because it seems as if just by the amounts of points that you guys are able to score that it's still quite easy on the African continent for South Africa.
Oh, to be honest, with this Africa Netball Cup, everyone have probably seen such a great level of competition amongst African countries. Everyone knows that Malawi has been probably our threats for quite some time. Again, we had such a big game against them this year. Them and Uganda played a draw in the last match of the Africa Netball Cup, which was quite interesting as well. So we obviously know that not just them, but we also have, countries like Zambia and Zimbabwe. Namibia played some awesome netball. They came fourth, in the African Netball Cup. I think this has been over the years and is probably their biggest achievement. So there has been really a huge improvement. But again, for us, I think every time we played Africa teams, it's completely different to what you would get when you play other international countries. So it's always a step ahead that you have to get, or you have to play at your best netball from our side to get, the result that we want. And I have to say credit to the team again. Like I said, we missed a couple of experienced players going into this tournament, and I have to say the young ones stepped up and they did a good job. So it's really fantastic to see. We're obviously hosting World Cup in 2023, so Africa, netball teams has to be there to represent us. But besides that, they really have to put out a great performance for the tournament to really be good for us as Africans. So it was good to see such level of competition this time around.
It's a big 2 years coming up for netball, not only for South Africa, but for the game itself. We've got the Commonwealth Games coming up, which is the second major competition in the sport behind the World Cup. And then, of course, we've got the World Cup in 2023. Where do you see South Africa currently at the moment? You've been with the team for a very long time. You know exactly the ebbs and flows, the form. Where would you say they are currently? And are you feeling quite positive in the build-up to the Commonwealth Games?
Oh, at this stage, I have to say I'm quite confident with what we could put out at the Africa Netball Cup. But again, it's still early stages to say where we stand at the SPA Proteas. I think January quite serious is going to tell the story, because that's where, like I said, you play more or less what you call the big guns in netball. Top three, you know, ranking in the world. That's what you have to test yourself against to know exactly what's the build-up looks like. So I'm really looking forward to that part now that we closed off the Africa, you know, fight. So we're going ahead now, looking into what's lies ahead for the SPA Proteas. There's a lot of preparations behind the scenes. All the stuff that we've been working on seem to be going well, which is a positive. Obviously, new players stepping on board and really, you know, putting out some great performances, which is, I think it's going to be a good headache for the coaches to pick a team, obviously preparing for first the Commonwealth Games. But yeah, like I said, I think January is going to tell the story, not just for, you know, the SPA Proteas, but also for Netball South Africa to actually know exactly where we are and also what to do in order to prepare for what we are about to host in 2023.
How far off do you think South African netball is from that glorious time in the sport of the 90s, where we saw the team medal at the World Championships?
Oh, I was quite excited in 2019. We finished fourth. It was not really an exciting finish after we lost by 2 goals against Australia in the semi-final. So I think from there one can grow, grab some strength and confidence in knowing that we are capable. And I think obviously with that, coming from that type of, you know, performances in 2019, even the preparations in place are to build up from there, not to drop. So the exciting thing is the only time we will get to play the top countries is in January, where we would know after we finished like that in 2019, are we really now stepping up into, you know, the next level? The next level for us, unfortunately, or fortunately, is to go fourth or top 3 in the world, which is quite exciting. And there's no going back. You cannot look into ranking any, you know, better than, you know, fifth. We want to go better into, you know, the top 4, top 3, I would say. So at this stage, if we want to finish top at World Cup, you have to beat the big teams, and that's the exciting parts about the SPA Proteas in Jan. We have to beat these big teams to be able to know exactly where we stand.
You have to, can you?
We can, definitely. I think if there's one thing I know about the SPA Proteas is we really have grit, the guts, and we represent the country with pride. And up to now, the people who follows netball will know that. So the exciting thing is we cannot keep talking about it. It's a performance being put into practice. People need to see it happening. And it's with us as well, seeing that happening. So we've seen it with Africa, you know, teams this year, now closing off. But again, like I said, we need to see it with other countries as well. So I guess it's a build-up. We're going to see that in Jan happening.
Have you guys spoken about potential medals at Commonwealth Games, gold, silver, bronze?
If I can be honest with you, it's all a step at a time. Like now we spoke about having to go to Africa Netball and really playing some great netball there and seeing the results. Eventually we came back with a trophy, which was quite exciting. That's what we are about. And it's not about a trophy only, it's about the depth as well. Players getting, some court time so they can gain the experience internationally. So now we're going into this, they're quite serious, knowing exactly it's going to be tough, completely different to the Africa Netball Cup. But again, wanting to step up and really play some good netball, which ends up into good results, I guess, if this is what happened now. So that's having to look at Com Games to World Cup will have to be a step taken one at a time, which is now, I guess, January was going to tell us the story.
Bongi Msomi is the SPA Proteas netball captain for the country. Thank you so much for chatting to us. Congratulations on the victory at the Africa Cup, undefeated at the tournament since 2019, and this year more competitive than ever. We thank you for your time here on Newzroom Afrika.